Okay, what I'm going to do is challenge the assumption that feldspar is just nothing but particulates that glob together, because I'm going to show you a goose's head, a lung that's been DNA verified. As far as I'm concerned, a new species we call no-toes. Bones that would have been considered rocks because they are literally turned to mineral muds and so forth. That's just the nature of how they decompose. And all of these things would be considered feldspar. And they are certainly not simply conglomerates that just congealed for no reason. This is what you would call fascia, skin, periosteum, pleura. It's the coating of all of the organs and body parts in your skin and every part of you, even feathers that are in this goose head. And those are feathers. You see the feather pattern? See the feather pattern on the goose's head? I'm going to show you this in a microscope. You can't miss it. It's what it is. Now, all of these will have that same type of what they call feldspar. It's not feldspar. And we originally presented a human head, and I'll show you that in a minute. And that goes back years ago, years and years ago. And it was dismissed because it was, oh, it's just feldspar. And I went ahead and we did all of the work. And the head we didn't have DNA certified, but we had a CAT scan. All of my stuff is DNA certified, my giants. That lung is DNA certified. Here's a giant finger. There's a giant fingertip right there. DNA certified human. And a CAT scanned anatomist. So we could see all the different articulations of the anatomy. And I have tons and tons and tons, literally, more of this. And then we're going to look at all of this in the microscope in a moment. All you need is a very simple microscope. You can get these pretty cheap nowadays. And we're going to look at it in the microscope in a minute. And I will show you what feldspar is. And all of this stuff is the same. And they say, well, it covers 50% of the earth. Well, obviously, because there is so much of it, because everything on earth is biological. These are all about, deep, and even deeper than that into chemistry. And I understand how all of this happens and why some feldspar takes on this labradorite look. It's 100% got to do with the conditions of entombment and what it was next to. And that was next to a kidney or a pancreas or bile or something. Now, you see that lung? Absolutely flawless. And that is 100% certified by DNA. And here's the DNA test right here. All right, now there's 3 things on this DNA test. This is 5 years ago. And there was this lung, and then there was a 36-inch wide fingertip, 30 inches wide, and 36 inches long. And then there was a mud tip, which is this one right here. It's another fingertip. Now the other one was just, like 5 times as big. I mean, absolutely enormous. This one's pretty damn big. Now, we're going to look at them in a microscope, and you're going to understand what feldspar is. Okay, my friends, all of this would be considered fascia. I'm sorry, it is fascia, but it would be considered to be feldspar. And feldspar is nothing more than the fabric of life. That's been DNA certified. That's been DNA certified. This is a goose's head. And if you can't tell that, then you better go look for a goose. There's the feathers on the head. All right. There's the pattern of his head. I mean, that's just what it is. There's the bill goes down here. And this is also fascia. It died laying like this. And the neck broke off. And that's where the neck would have been. All right, now, the reason they get different colors and minerals in them is because they're closer to different sources of those, like from their kidneys or from bile or from somewhere in the liver or that type of thing, the chemistry, and it's all the different, and they show you, here's what it consists of, all of these different minerals. That's why, if you look up what these minerals are, you're going to find out that's saltiness. That's near the kidneys. You know, and then the other ones, this is calcium something, calcium, aluminum, silicon. That, I believe, is somewhere in the skin area. It depends on where it is in relation to the minerals that are in the body. It's as simple as that. All the minerals are different in the body, in different organs. Okay, my friends, I was just going to blow over this real quick, but I think I better take my time because this changes everything. It really does, and it's been changed for a long time. Nobody's been listening, so I'm going to make it so completely clear today what feldspar is. It's been considered to be just nothing but congealed things, and it's not. That is a goose head. That is a kidney, a lung. It's been DNA certified. It's absolutely 100% certain what it is. This is a giant human fingertip, which again, these are things that nobody's accepting because they're so far out of the mainstream. All right, but it's been DNA certified, CAT scanned, anatomist verified it. I'm going to show you all of this in the microscope in a minute, and you will see that it is all what they call feldspar. Even this is what we think is a new species. And we have these in vast quantities. And I'm going to show you something on the side of this over here where it interfaces that, and then I'm going to show you some other ones that we have that are extremely eroded and the similarities we see there. And I think this was engineered. All right, and then we have other bones. This is a bone. That's the head of a bone. Anybody that has any sense whatsoever understands that's the head of a bone. And Yale told me it's just a rock and there's no sense in looking at it. They wouldn't take a look at it. So I have to bring these things to the forefront and show them. And I'm going to show you the feldspar, and that's what it is. Feldspar is the fabric of life. And it's even the fabric of this goose's head. And I'll show you, and if you can't see that's a goose head, I think I maybe showed you the feathers already, but they're the feathers. It's a goose head. Now, we're going to look at this under the microscope, and it's going to be virtually the same as everything else. There's little bits of differences, but they're all made out of collagens and keratins and keragens and different types of blood, and then minerals, like this labradorite, just happen to be next to, let's say, the bile duct or a kidney or something like that, where certain molecules became invaded by the chemistry that was in that certain organ. You know, your liver, your kidneys, your lungs, your heart, all of that stuff has different biology, different minerals and metals and so forth in it, different structural components. And then they also leach out salts and acids and all bile and all that kind of nasty stuff. And it's got to go somewhere, and sometimes it attaches into these things, makes them extremely colorful, interesting looking. I have some here that are like, this is a toe. You see that? That's a toe. Now you see that? You see what's going on with this thing? That's the blood that leaked out of the toe right there. That's the blood. That's the toe. And that's the guy's callus right there. I'm not kidding. And the other toe went up against here. That's gold. All right, this was at the bottom of, so it's hard to tell how these things happen. But that is a toe. And that's the red vein, red blood part, and that's the vein part there. And the red blood ran out of here at the end. See, this is all congealed up red blood. It's all attached to different molecules and so forth when it ran out. But the red side blows out, and the black side does not. The black sides, they don't blow out. Okay, we're starting with the lung. Now, this is pleura. This is denser, but it's virtually identical. to fascia and to skin and even to that goose's feathers. You see these fibers in the black and the red spots and so forth. The black is vein blood. It's deoxygenated blood. The red is oxygenated blood. The white is the fibers and fabrics, keratins and collagens, the constructive part of the lung. And this is the surface, and this coats the lung. Right? If you dig underneath there, you're going to see it turns different. It turns a lot more, flesh tissue, a lot more bloody tissue. Now, that is the lung. Now, here is this bone. Hold on, I don't have any lights coming off of here. All right, see, remember this bone? All right, here's the tissue on that bone. You see it? Same stuff. Not quite as much white in there, but if the lung came out of the ground really, really fresh. I had another one that bled all over. I'm not kidding you. I'll show you the pictures of it. Unbelievable. Now, this is the bone, and but it's the same kind of tissues. You see it? It's the same stuff. Exactly, it's the exact same stuff. No sense to go too much deeper with this. But you can see that's the same. That's the bone right there. That's the bone. You see it? There's no difference. No. So we had the lung. Now we had the bone. Now look at this. This is the goose. Check this out now. This is the feathers outside of his head. Here they are, same stuff. I'm telling you, this feldspar is the fabric of life. It's just the fabric of life. That's how keratins, keragens, collagens, they all mix together to make a fabric. You see it? And this is on his duck's bill. That's the duck's bill. Same stuff. It's the fabric of life. I'm just, they say, well, feldspar makes up over 50% of your surface. Absolutely, I agree with that because it's on the surface of everything. That's the duck. Now, this is the side that was flat, laying like this. Everything, like I say, almost everything, I believe, was from the Great Flood. And they all died, and when they must have preserved and stabilized in some, I would say, salty waters. I'm guessing a little bit. But I would go with, because salt preserves things. Look at that, isn't that something? The exact same stuff, exact same stuff. Now, and this side, it will be the same. It's the same stuff. The other side will have, sometimes they'll have minerals that would be more up here and they'll flush down, but very, very similar. Now, remember this? This is, I'd say, is a new species, notos. Look at this. This is the surface of it right here. Same stuff. Same exact stuff. Now I go back here. Here's where blood's coming out. You see that? That's where a bloody spot is coming out of the, where the bone would attach. The vein would have gone, the artery would have gone in right in that area there, the red. Now, the black is over here. You see the black? That's the vein blood area. All right, vein is, there's FeO2 and FeO3. The O2 is only 2 oxygens. That's this. The O3 is the red, and that's over here, and that's this stuff right here. It has an extra oxygen. All right. Now, it's the same fabric everywhere. Now, these black balls, these are like interstitium balls. And these, if you look at a belt or something, you're going to see very similar. This had its own leather coating. All right, but see it? But it's interstitium. Now, here's where you go below a toe. I'm going down into a toe. Here, let me just show you where it is. You see that right there? This is where the skin is broken off. And that skin is not a shoe. It looks like it's a shoe. It's even got a pattern on it. Look at that. But it's, I'm telling you, it's skin. Now, let's go down to where that toe was. Here's, all right, well, let's go up to the edge. Here's the edge where you've got the leather part of it. And then we step off. You see, and we're going to go down. Boom. Now we're going down into where the toenail is. I say that's a toe. That goes down, and I think that's like a toenail. And that's right underneath the toenail, right towards the end of the guy's toe. And then it steps right off at the end. But this is kind of bloody, and it's a matrixy. But that's biology. No. So we saw the new species, and that's what I'm saying. There it is right there. Now on the side where the bone is missing from you got a tibia, then you got a fibula. The fibula attaches on the side here. You see it? It's broken off of there. But anyway, now we saw the duck's head, or goose head, or whatever it is. I have an egg here too. And the egg's got the same thing. It's the exact same stuff. You know, a little bit different, but not much. And then you got like meat. Then you go into stuff like this here that's meat. And that's what that is. That's strictly meat. Now you're going to see a whole different look. You see, you don't have all those fibery straps. You've got that. Here, let me get a fleshy spot. Hard to home in on here, but you see what you're seeing in there is the same stuff you're seeing inside of regular meat. I mean, that's what it is. It's meat. I have some shots of this when it first came out of the ground. Unbelievable. You see that strap there? Whoops, can't see it at all, can you? Anyway,